Hello, and welcome back to another Mystery Docket here on the Alexander Society podcast. I'm your host, Tim, leading a Christian cult in Japan for some godforsaken reason. And with me is my best buddy and co-host, Derek, who definitely did not travel back in time and create a fanfic timeline where Christianity is just all kinds of sorty weird. How you doing, Derek?
What? Okay. Was that just a joke you came up with, or is there going to be time travel involved in this story?
A lot of their belief and the animes they wrote involve basically child self-insert fanfic is what those animes feel like.
What the fuck? Why?
Into Christianity.
I think the Shogunate had a point when they started kicking out all those Christian missionaries.
It feels so weird to say a Japanese Christian. Like I know it's not a major religion in Japan, but like you just don't think of like Christian religion in Japan.
Yeah.
And to know there's like a well-ish known cult from Japan that is Christian feels weird.
Yeah. We're going to have to do an episode on the Moonies eventually.
Oh God, I forgot about the Moonies.
Probably do a corollary episode where we talk about we need to do an episode on Shinzo Abe also. We've been putting that off.
We talked about doing that when I tried to get you to watch Kamen Rider Black Sun, because there are so many parallels to Shinzo Abe that it's not even funny. It's crazy.
Anyways, I am doing all right. I'm doing as well as this godforsaken world will let me do. How are you doing, Tim?
I felt that on a goddamn spiritual level, sir.
Everything's bad right now. It's not good.
No.
I hate living in a dying empire. It fucking sucks.
You're telling me. Talking about living in a dying empire, I just lost my great-grandmother on Sunday, and I just had to keep going.
Yeah.
She had been kind of ready to, she was mentally checked out for a little bit, but she unfortunately was still here for a little bit, so I was like, it's for the best, I love her and I'll miss her, but I'd rather her not suffer kind of thing.
Yeah, I understand. My great-grandmother, when she passed away, she had already lost both of her kids before she was gone. So
shit.
Yeah, it's difficult. It sucks when you lose them, but it's my great grandmother, she was 99 years old when she died. She got the most out of it.
I got very fortunate with great grandparents. Unfortunately, I think she's my last great grandmother I had. But up until my mid to late teens, I got to know my great great grandmother, who was an old timey hellstone and brimstone, hellfire and brimstone. That's the word I'm looking for. Preacher back in the day.
Holy shit.
And she was 97 years old when she passed away.
That is crazy. Your two great-grandmother.
Yes.
That is wild.
My great-grandfather's mother, yes. On my dad's side, yeah.
That's just so weird to think of, because my great-grandparents on both my great-great-grandparents on both sides were all born in the 1800s. So, they were all of my great-grandparents, besides my great-oma, was long gone before I was even born. So I cannot fathom knowing your...
See, that's the thing about... So, only my dad and, the rest of us got to use so, my great-grandmother, who just passed away, did not like being called Granny by anyone but my dad and his immediate family.
Mm-hmm.
Because my actual grandmother was a teen mom, And she's like, I'm too young to be a granny. You have to call me grandmother. And everyone else had to say grandmother, but my dad was a cheeky little shit, and that became his little term of endearment with her.
Yeah.
So only us and the immediate family got to call her granny.
Yeah. I get,
So I grew up calling all my grandparents, female grandparents, granny.
I guess now that I think about it, I think I might be the weird one out because it's for some reason it's kind of a thing for multiple, with the exception of my mom's parents. For multiple generations, they people in my family just wait till they're like 30 to start having kids. So my family's like our genealogy is kind of running on a longer timeline for some reason.
I feel like the timeline is for a lot of people is a slider because like you could have teen pregnancy, you could wait till your 30s and anywhere in between.
Yeah. Yeah. And then there's my grandmother.
Vegeta, no sniffing the vodka. No sniffing the vodka.
And then there's
Vodka is not for Vegetas.
my grandmother who had all four of her kids by the time she was 30. Had her first kid when she was 18
Jeez.
because she was married when she was 17, but
Oh, wow. Okay.
they made it work. Yeah, they made it work. Anyways, are we
So what are you drinking, Derek?
Oh, what am I drinking? So, during our apartment cleanup, I found a stash of stuff that Tim gave me that I had completely forgotten about, and I hadn't thought. I just set it down somewhere, and it got buried under something, and I did not find it until I don't even know how long ago this was that I got this. It was probably last summer. But for my beer, I have Toppling Goliath Brewing Company Summer Sioux Citrus Ale, which is very nice. I've been sipping on it.
What are you thinking?
I've been sipping on it. Very, very good. Very relaxing beer. Just a nice, gentle sipper that with a nice bit of citrus in it and a badass T-Rex on the can. So I'm really digging it. It's a
I think that's supposed to be a imitation of Sue, like the famous T-Rex.
oh yeah. I completely forgot there was a T-Rex named Sue, isn't there?
Yep.
Yeah, let's see. It's brewed in Decorah, Iowa. It is what's the percentage on this sumbitch? Oh Lord, where's the percentage? They didn't put it on here. Oh, there it is, 5.2. So yeah, a good upstanding beer with a nice little citrus. It's very, very relaxing to drink. I am very much enjoying this. And then for my shots, I've got some Absolute raspberries, just some raspberry flavored vodka, 38%. We all know what Absolute is, so that's what I'm going to be shooting with. Tim, what are you drinking?
So tonight, I have Avalanche Amber Ale from Breckenridge Brewery. And I didn't check where they're from, but let me see if I can't pull it up on that. Littleton, Colorado.
I figured it was Colorado. That looks like a Colorado beer.
That makes sense, and it's 5% ABV, so decent little ABV. And then I literally just saw the bottle for this, and I was like, that looks really good. I know you shouldn't judge a book by its cover and a alcohol by its bottle to tell how tasty it's going to be, but I went it for anyway. So I got the Citroc Riviera Strawberry Lemonade, and boy, let me tell you, when I open this up and it literally just smells like a sweet strawberry lemonade. Whoo!
Yeah, that stuff looks so good. I want to try some of that so bad.
Yeah, I'll try and make sure not to hog it all to myself. It's 30% alcohol.
Okay, yeah, so we're both doing kind of a
So it's a little low for vodka, but not by a lot.
yeah, we're both doing like a little under we're both doing a little under strength vodka this time.
So I don't have any rules planned other than when I read out the summary, because I did not want to go through and watch 11 anime movies. I just didn't. You're gonna.
You do that for fun though.
I watch anime, but I don't want to watch a religious anime. That's the equivalent.
For you, all anime is religious.
Sir, I will bust this beer. I will teleport into your living room and bust this beer bottle over your head once it's done.
I mean, you could try. I don't think you can teleport. I'm gonna call your bluff here.
My one weakness, no magic.
Yes. Your one and only weakness.
My inability to use magic.
Anyways, we're
Okay, do you want to go ahead and take a shot?
oh yeah. So no rules. Prost.
Cheers. It's more like just a vibes shot episode. Vibes rules, sorry.
Yep, that's absolute.
Kind of middle of the road vodka is absolute. I think I said that when I had it, but
Yeah.
it's kind of solid. It's not like harsh, but it's not super smooth either.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta respect the Swedes. They don't do anything well, but they don't do anything poorly either. Very, very middle of the road people.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
They're like the Swedes are like the opposite of Americans. Americans are just all extremes. We're the best in the world at a lot of stuff.
Where it's either super shitty or super good.
Yeah, we're the best at the world in the world at a lot of stuff, and then we're complete fucking morons at a lot of other stuff. And there's
But we still think we're the absolute best at it. Either way.
there's no in between. No in between. It's like half of the American experience is just Dunning-Kruger. We do live in the Dunning-Kruger country.
Yeah, basically.
Anyways, we are talking about a cult.
Yes. So this week we're talking about a Japanese Christian cult, Happy Science, better known as let me make sure I say this right, Institute for Research in Human Happiness.
I'm sorry, this is just Japanese Scientology. I'm already calling it.
You want to know what makes it even more of an accurate statement?
Oh, does L. Ron Hubbard come into this story?
No, but it was founded by a former Wall Street trader. It's the same vibes as L. Ron Hubbard.
Oh, that's not the same vibes at all. Do you know anything about L. Ron Hubbard?
No, and I refuse to learn until we eventually do an episode on him.
No, the guy was like, I can't think of another guy who would be further from a Wall Street guy. He was a failed Navy officer who then got into writing science fiction. Got big off of writing science fiction because he could pump out like 50 individual stories a day because he was always on cocaine. And then he used his money to fund a bunch of
Cocaine, the original Chat GPT.
Yeah. Well, I respect cocaine a lot more than I respect ChatGPT. But
Honestly, same.
but then he would take all of that sci-fi money and would spend it on doing satanic rituals with the guy who invented the American rocketry program. And then he eventually took one of his stories and formed a religion around it, and that's how he got Scientology. The guy was nutty. There is not a straight lace on that dude. He was as far from Wall Street as you could possibly get.
Fine. How about this? It is just as likely as Scientology to get us sued, Derek.
Wow, that's a high bar.
Yeah. One of my YouTubers I watch occasionally called Mother's Basement. He does anime reviews, and he used to grift off the idea that all anime people live in their mother's basement, so that's where his name came from. I don't know if he ever actually did live in his mother's basement, but it happens. So it was founded by a man named Okawa Ryuho, better known as his birth name. Well, not better known, but born his birth name is Takashi Nakagawa.
Okay.
Well, if you use the Japanese spelling, so the last name first, it'd be Nakagawa Takashi. He was born July 7th in 1956. I did not know his birthday was one day off from mine. Like, not year, obviously, but I'm July 6th. He's July 7th. Interesting.
Wait, what year was this? What year was he born?
1956.
Okay.
So he was born a whole 42 years before me.
Okay.
And one day. Well, technically it would have been 41 years and 364 days.
Okay.
Before me.
So we're talking about a baby boomer. Okay, so let's lay out the information that I have so far. This is a baby boomer who goes on to found a Christian cult,
A Japanese baby boomer.
but who also happens to be Japanese.
Yes.
Okay, cool. I'm liking this setup. This is unique. This is different. This has new vibes that I haven't experienced before. I'm excited to see where this goes.
You've never experienced this in a cult leader before.
I have not. No. Real quick, we got to do the Shingen Rikyu coup attempt sometime. I think that's what it's called. I don't know. I'm not good with Japanese. It was this really famous Japanese poet who founded like an ultra nationalist right wing cult and tried to get a bunch of members of the Japanese Defense Force to launch a coup to restore imperial power, and failed just in the funniest way possible. Just utter failure.
I mean, we're already going to be doing 2 Japanese cults, because next Mystery Docket is also Amsham Rikyo.
Oh, that's what I was thinking about. I was getting the wrong name. No, I got to find what this one is called.
The sarin gas attacks.
That's what I was thinking of, but I was thinking of a different cult that tried to launch a coup in like the 80s.
The name is what you were getting at, but not the actual actions. Yeah, I got you.
Right, yeah. I'm thinking, yeah, it's different cult, but yeah, I'll do that episode eventually, because he was such an interesting guy.
Okay.
Genuinely really good poetry, which sucks because he was an asshole.
A lot of cult leaders were genuinely assholes.
Yeah, but not all cult leaders are genuinely really good artists.
Ooh, interesting. So, like I said, born July 7th, 1956, in the Kawashima, in the Tsukushima prefecture. It's now called Yongogawa town. I guess that's his town within his prefecture. Please forgive any mispronunciations. I may have been into anime for a long time, but I'm not fluent anywhere close.
Okay, so Fukushima is that north of Tokyo? Am I remembering that correctly?
I don't know the geography of Japan super well. I'm just going to be full on honest with that.
The only reason I know Fukushima is because it's where the nuclear reactor was. That's the only reason I've ever heard of it. The reactor that melted down after the tsunami.
Okay. So he was the second son. That's about all we know about like his siblings and such.
Okay.
He has an older brother named Sumo. Again, apologies if I'm not pronouncing that well. I do apologize. It's not intentional.
Look, we're two white guys talking about Japanese history here. We're gonna fuck this all up.
I was about to say we're two gaijins talking about Japanese names and history. We're gonna fuck up.
Look, this is the Tokugawa episode all over again. It's gonna be a disaster. Just buckle in and just join us for the ride.
Yeah. Here's a really interesting thing I think about the Christians that come from Japan is a lot of them are still kind of Buddhist a little bit, so they'll still believe in like Buddha and all that stuff. So it's kind of like a blend between Buddhism and Christianity, even though it's not really stated as a different one. So his family was religious, and both of his parents did believe in like the Abrahamic God from Christianity and Buddha.
I'm sorry to interrupt again, but that just reminded me of something really interesting. Have you ever seen like people doing comparisons between Britain and Japan?
No.
Like historical comparisons between the two countries? Because they're both they're both island countries that are roughly the same size and have very like there's a lot of interesting parallels between their histories as a result of like they're just both of them being island countries. And that what you said about like Japanese Christians being kind of like syncretic with like Japanese Buddhism reminds me a lot of like early British Christianity, which was like in like the early Middle Ages, Christianity in the British Isles was mainly dominated by like what was referred to as insular Christianity, which was a branch that kind of independently evolved separate from the Latin Church out of Rome and carried a lot of like the native Celtic practices, like the Celtic cultural practices. And so there's a lot of people that kind of consider in like that period of insular Christianity to be like syncretic between like the Christian religion and like native paganism. And I just find that really interesting that
Well, it's one of the fascinating things that I think about Christianity is Christianity would absorb a lot of other quote unquote pagan religions and like try and get to trick people into oh no, your religion's right too, it's just you're not quite practicing it right because you got to add in our religion too,
right, yeah.
and then just slowly Christian washed a lot of religions. And it's really, I would really like to like, if I had a time machine and I was going, it was one of those you could only view time machines, you can't interact with that. I like to be able to go back and just like kind of study a lot of the religious fusing the melting pot areas and kind of document a lot of religions before Christian influence fucked it up.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I mean, to be completely frank, like modern Christianity has a lot more in common with like Roman paganism than it does with like Judaism because because in order to get their religion to spread throughout the Roman Empire, they had to adopt a lot of Roman customs. That's why even though Jesus was born in the spring, we celebrate his birthday at the winter solstice because that was one of the most important religions in, or one of the most important holidays in pagan, both Roman and Germanic pagan religions. It's why we care so much about eggs and at Easter is because Easter, the celebration of the resurrection of Christ, is celebrated around the same time as the like pagan spring festivals, like Celtic and Germanic spring festivals. It is just these are just pagan practices with like a Christian coat of paint over them.
Yeah, like that. It's interesting to see modern Christians being super intolerant of each other, and then look back and it's like there was a lot of strife in Christianity back in the day because they were just absorbing other religions, and it's crazy.
Yeah, so I can imagine like the mid to late 1400s, 1500s, the early Dutch and Portuguese traders coming in with their missionaries on their ships arriving in the port of Nagasaki. They're going to start looking around and looking at all of these Buddhist practices and be like, "Hey, you can keep doing that if you come and worship our Jesus guy." Because that's how Christianity has always worked.
Cultural absorption.
It's a concept called syncretism.
Yeah, he was not actively religious in his younger years, and him and his older brother. So I think it's a two-child home. There was an older and a younger brother. Don't quote me on that. There's not a whole lot. I'm having to rely on the Wikipedia for a lot of the early childhood stuff, just because of how niche this is. There's not a lot of information outside of the Wikipedia, and then their direct stuff on their website.
Right. Yeah.
So they were raised in a fairly strict Japanese household. Not like don't think Christian zealous strict, just like middle class, pretty like average Japanese person, like kind of like you'll see in like Japanese anime. Sorry, where like you'll see a kind of strict parent. That's how I'm imagining. Is it like that? Like moderately restrictive parents in like an anime you'll see is how I kind of imagine it.
Right. And forgive me if you've already said this, but are they was he raised Christian? Like are they like a did they come from a
They were his parents both believe they they like I said they were his parents both believed in like Buddha and Christianity,
Okay, gotcha.
but they were not like uber religious. Like it's one of those times where like you knew your parents were Christians, but you weren't really at Sunday school and all that shit. Like maybe you would go to church a couple times a year. Again, this is like a lot of reading between the lines, but this is like again, there's not a lot about the early years.
Yeah, kind of the Japanese version of culturally Christian.
Sorry, the this article on his early life is kind of like all over, so I'm trying to piece together what this is. His brother had a pen name, and that's why they're using that there. I was trying to figure it out. His his brother was pretty influential in his life. Um, his brother edited journals for the Japanese Communist Party.
Oh, wow. Wow, that's
Yes.
even post-war, that was a pretty like dangerous thing to be a part of. There's never been a yeah, there's never been a time in Jap
No, that's his father. That was his father. Sorry.
his father was a communist. That there okay, yeah, there's never man, and he was he was probably was he a communist like interwar period, like the 30s?
His father was born in 1921. Um, his father's actual name was Nakagawa Taiyoshi, but he had a pen name named Yoshikiwa Saburo, and it seems like surprisingly enough, his father was a an editor for the Japanese Communist Party, in their journal, and his
Did he does it say anywhere did he fight in the war? Like I want cuz I'm
I don't. There's nothing. It doesn't give anything else on his father because his father doesn't have his own Wikipedia page.
okay, cuz I'm wondering if because his dad would have been like his dad would have been 18 in 1939, which they were heavily involved in China by that point. Like they were neck deep in China, like in the Chinese war, during the Chinese invasion at that point. I wonder if he was a
It could have been his dad was like saw what was happening in Nanking because like he would have been in his 20s during World War II or pretty darn close.
yeah. So he would have been he would have been like a teenager when Nanking happened, and so he would. I wonder if he was a communist during the war, or if that was something that he came to after. Because that is, I am really, I'm kind of more interested in his dad now than I am in him because that is such a fascinating period of Japanese history to be a communist in.
It kind like I was about to say I really want more about a lot of cult leaders. I want to see more about their early childhood just to see what formed people.
Yeah, and if nothing, yeah, if nothing else, you have to be a tough son of a bitch to be a communist in Japan. Like you cannot be a commune. You cannot be a pinko red in Japan without just adamantium balls. It's a scary place to be a communist. Like probably one of the, even to include Nazi Germany, Japan was probably the most militantly anti-communist country on the planet during that period.
That's kind of surprising with how anti-communist America was.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, because the Nazis were principally anti-communist. The Japanese imperial government was like actively like destroying their country based on the fear of communism. Like they were so terrified of communism that they were like murdering one another on just like the slightest suspicion that they might be a sympathizer. Like there was an entire period of Japanese history in the 30s where their government was just that was literally the saying was it was a government run on assassination.
Jesus Christ.
And it was based on just it was just a bunch of mainly like junior officers in the Japanese military just killing one another and killing public figures and then coming out afterwards and saying we did that because he was a communist.
I mean, I'm not. So I wouldn't be surprised if we did similar stuff. It's just because of the size of the country. It was kind of like, since ours is so much bigger, it kind of like gets lost in the sauce.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. I think American anti-communism was just a little bit more intelligent, not by much, but I think it was. I think America did anti-communism
Not by much.
because I need to be completely clear here. If a public figure, if a public political figure is an avowed anti-communist, they're probably like if it is a staple part of their political platform that they're anti-communist, they're probably a moron. But
Derek out here with spitting facts.
they do know the American federal government historically does know how to very effectively suppress socialist movements in such a way that it doesn't just destroy the country, which is not something that you can say about a lot of other countries, most prominently Imperial Japan. Anyways, that is fascinating that his dad is a communist. Please do continue.
He wasn't religious as a kid, but he was deeply fascinated by like spirituality and religion. So he studied the Christian church as a teenager, as well as a new religion called Seicho no Rei, which is like a trying to give the 2 sentence summary of this because it's a whole religion in itself. Oh, sorry, Jeets, I ran you right into my vodka. It's here's the quick 1 paragraph description of it. Saicho no Rei is a syncretic monotheistic New Thought Japanese new religion that has spread since the end of World War II in Asia. It emphasized gratitude for nature, the family, ancestors, and above all, religious faith in one universal God. Saicho no Rei is the world's largest New Thought group. By the end of 2010, it had 1.6 million followers and 442 facilities, most located in Japan, Brazil, and the U.S.
Okay, so Shinto hippies.
You would know a little bit more about this, but probably yes.
Yeah, that just it sounds like new age occult like spiritualism stuff, but with like a Japanese coat of paint on it. That's what it sounds like to me.
So later on, Okawa later becomes a follower of Takahashi Shinji. And no, this is not Shinji from Eva. Get your head out of the gutter.
Get in the fucking
Eva Shinji. So the Takahashi Shinji is also the leader of the God Light Association religion, which is a Japanese religious leader. It said it was going to go straight to the religion, but it just brought up the page on him himself. But Japanese religious leader, writer, and founder of the Japanese Light Association, established in 1969. He taught that essential nature of human beings is the soul. He further asserted that life is sustained by transcend. My dyslexia is kicking in. Transcendent, divine existence that surpasses human intellect, and that individuals are born with the purpose of establishing themselves and contributing to the harmony of the world.
Yeah, just more new age stuff. Like this just sounds like
Japanese hippies.
yeah, because this was like the 60s, that was like when new age like hippie stuff was first becoming huge.
And this guy actually was an advisor for um, the the early years of Happy Science.
Yeah, so the 60s was a weird time in Japan because because they were still kind of suffering from they were just starting to kind of bounce back from the economic depression of like the post-war, like come bouncing back from the devastation.
Oh, hold on. This all I misread. This whole paragraph is fucked up. So this was not Okawa himself that I was just reading about. The the influences are actually on the dad. Like, so all that I was talking about, like being a follower of Saicho no Rei and being a follower of Takahashi Shinji, that's his dad.
Okay, so he was Okay, so he was a prominent communist writer who fell in with the new wave in the with like new age stuff in the 60s, kind of alongside like when the hippie movement was happening in the United States, and you have like a lot of overlap with like the new left. So you kind of, because Japan.
Hey, real quick, let me uh, asterisk this again because we have so much little information. Apologies if this is misinformation. Also, this paragraph on the Wikipedia page is just so poorly written that I could be misunderstand. Like, this is like I skimmed through the entire Wikipedia page, but like this is the most like poorly written paragraph I've seen on Wikipedia in a long time.
Unfortunate.
Your nephew is just chilling in my lap.
My dude. I'm going to be the cool uncle that picks him up from school and takes him to the amusement park.
To like takes him to a cat cafe to check out all the female cats.
Yeah, the fine bitches at the cat cafe.
The reason why like I got confused really there, um, because it's talking all about this stuff, and I can't tell if it's talking about his dad, and then subject like it's predispositions that says his dad gave him and his older brother hour-long lectures after dinner about stuff. Like it could have been like religious topics, like the Bible. What the fuck is the gateless barrier?
I don't know. That sounds like some key, that sounds like like a key of Solomon stuff. Like,
It's from it's 40 a collection of 48 Chan koans. I have no idea what that is. Like it seems to be like a little like small little writing from a Chinese master named Woman Hukai. Sorry, it, a lot of like just niche religious stuff. Um, as well as secular topics like Kantian philosophy and Marxism during elementary school.
why are you teaching an L?
Imagine having dinner and getting hour-long lectures about philosophy and Marxism.
Why are you teaching an elementary school child about Kant and Marx? Couldn't you at least start them out with fucking, just start them? I was about to say start them out with Hegel, but even that's start them out with the classic. Teach them some classical stuff. Teach them about ideal forms. Why are you skipping to fucking?
Derek's. I say that deserves 3 sips for Derek's critique of someone's.
Why are you? Why are
socialist
you
theory?
Why are you starting out teaching a child about fucking dialectical theory? Start them out with fucking ideal forms. What are you doing?
Three sips, Derek, because oh my god, this was not what I was expecting.
Have we no respect for Plato anymore?
After getting uh, hour-long lectures on Kantian philosophy and Marxism in elementary school, he was not super successful in school, apparently.
You know, I'm getting the sense that he wasn't very successful in school because he just didn't care. I'm getting that's the vibe I'm getting off of.
I No, he wanted to be a scholar or a diplomat.
Okay, I still get the sense he doesn't care.
Fair enough. He,
Look. We're talking about a cult leader here. He probably felt entitled to good grades, or at least entitled to all of the benefits of good grades without having to actually do the work. So
especially with what I've seen in like with entitlement on like you'll see kind of like the delinquents and like the scholarly people in like anime. Obviously, it's always going to be a caricature of what actually exists in real life, but like just using that as like a semi basis of what like actual like school social dynamics work off of, and like kind of take a couple steps back from like the unrealisticness of it being in an anime. That it probably does, it sets a decent like like structure for to like assume this guy was in.
yeah, right.
Um, so he wanted to spread his ideas of academia by experiencing different cultures as a diplomat. So he would, because of this, he would stay up late, and he was actually top of his class apparently still.
Wait, so he didn't do well with schoolwork, but he still managed to get to the top of his class.
It may be talking about two different parts, like elementary school versus like high school, because the way Japanese high school works is way different than ours.
Right, yeah, I knew that. All right, well,
Well, a lot of their like high school system is more similar to like our college system, like on like entrance part. So like that could be the difference. Like again, this is one of the most poorly written Wikipedia articles I've seen in a while. He came really good at English, and he was obese. Apparently, he weighed 60 kilograms, and he was 143 centimeters tall. So I don't know the translations on those top of my head.
here, hold on. I'm curious. 60 kilograms, 100.
Derek with the conversion. 60 kilograms for weight.
60 kilograms is up 132 pounds.
And 143 centimeters tall.
Okay, so what part of this what would was this like high school?
It does not have any specification.
Okay, 143 centimeters is 4'8".
Okay, so this had been like elementary, middle school kind of area.
Okay, so I could see that. Like,
It has to be because the next sentence brings up during secondary school, he was an active student. He fished, he played tennis, and he practiced kendo.
okay, so I'm seeing what's being laid down. So he was a pudgy, ambitious kid in middle school that kind of grew into a sort of like successful know-it-all as he like he got into puberty.
There's got to be a tinge of elitism in there because he played tennis. I don't feel like he would be the person who practiced kendo for like the martial part of it, because there's like and this could be just a Western thing. I feel like there's two people who practice kendo, at least from the media I've seen. There's the person who's in it for the martial slash cultural stuff, and then there's the elitism for that. Yeah. like, like, oh, I practice kendo, I'm so much better than you, blah 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 kind of thing. And again, this is just gaijin's bullshit seeing through media, so don't take me as a I am not a here all be all on that.
Yeah, yeah. Don't trust two white guys from Oklahoma for a, like a comprehensive critique of Japanese culture.
Definitely do not. So he was the president of the student union, I'm assuming, and editor of the school newspaper. Talk about a fucking nerd.
Yeah, this guy. I knew this guy. I knew this guy in high school. He's either like a lonely dweeb or he's the most annoying popular guy.
Why not both?
Well, you can't be both a loner and popular.
Yeah, you can.
I don't think whatever. It doesn't matter. Just
So he scrubbed out his first year of like trying to get into university in Japan in 1975, which honestly is understandable with how Japanese high school and colleges work. Like it's a lot more competitive than here, I want to say.
oh yeah. The fucking
He scrubbed out of Tokyo University for the first year for the entrance exam.
yeah the fucking the university entrance exams in Japan sound like a nightmare.
Just the high school entrance exams sound like a nightmare in Japan. Like I don't know that I would have made it past middle school education if our system worked like Japan's.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. No, there's no fucking way I would have ever gone anywhere with if if our system worked like Japan's. I don't know how I would have fucking survived. I barely I barely survived American high school. I don't know how I could have like
Yeah.
putting the pressure of entrance exams on me in 8th grade. Like I would have just I'm not going to say that actually. Not on a podcast.
You would become a. I was about to say you probably would become a neat, Derek. To be perfectly honest.
No, I wouldn't have become a need. I would have become a statistic is what I would have become.
Oh shit! Oh shit! So he went and buckled down and tried it again after a year, and he got into the liberal arts division. And during his first year, he was not socially adjusted, is what it says.
Okay. Okay, yeah. So I'm getting a sense for this guy's personality.
You know that trope in anime where that one character is just like obsessed with a girl and writes love letters, but like she doesn't even know he exists.
Right, yeah.
He pulled that shit off in college. He wrote letters to a girl, but was rejected.
Ooh. Ooh. It reminds me I made a post on Blue Sky a while back about every every the biography of every Nazi eventually at some point it comes to
This one girl rejected me, and I was filled with rage.
well it for some reason like every Nazi biography at some point has a thing where he falls in love with a girl, never talks with her, and then becomes suicidally depressed when she ends up getting with another guy. Like Nazis, cult leaders, entrepreneurs, that happens. that keeps popping up, and like all of the most authoritarian people that you can possibly imagine. Like it at some point in there, I wonder, does their cult like tendency, does that come from their rejection, or is their rejection another consequence of a deeper issue? I wonder if it's a chicken or egg thing.
I could not tell you. Oh God. So he felt uncomfortable amongst students who were not into his spirituality. During his second year, a time he calls the first stage in the awakening of wisdom.
You fucking dweeb.
That's a sip. If I heard a sip ever. Oh God. Oh fucking shit. He modeled his daily schedule after Immanuel Kant, who he deeply respected.
Oh my God. Oh, you. Hold on. I'm going to look up. Hold on. Give me just a second.
Oh my God! Why would you base your own schedule off of someone else who has no relevance to your modern circumstance? Oh.
Okay. Kant rose at 5 a.m. after being woken by his longtime servant, a retired soldier, under explicit orders not to let the master oversleep. Then he drank 1 or 2 cups of weak tea and smoked his pipe. Kant had formulated the maxim for himself that he would smoke only 1 pipe, but is reported that the bowls of his pipes increased considerably in size as the years went on.
Holy shit.
After this period of meditation, Kant prepared his day's lectures and did some writing. Lectures began at 7 a.m. and lasted until 11. His academic duties discharged, Kant would go to a restaurant or a pub for lunch, his only real meal of the day. He did not limit his dining company to his fellow academics, but enjoyed mixing with townspeople from a variety of backgrounds. As for the meal itself, he preferred simple fare. Okay, so this is what I get so far.
It goes on to the specific part of the schedule that he was recreating.
Okay.
Here in a minute.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, lay it on me.
So, at 3 p.m. he would walk while writing poetry. At 5 p.m. he would go to the local bathhouse and stay there for an hour thinking about his day, go home, have a cheap meal, and buy 2 books at the local bookstore. From 8:30 to 9 p.m. he would read, drink tea, and then read philosophy.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, like light meals, reading, and a lot of just sitting around thinking about stuff. That's basically what we're looking at here.
Thinking about thinking.
Thinking about thinking. That sounds like Immanuel Kant to me.
Those that he read included those of Plato and Kirito Nishida.
Oh, so now he gets to ideal forms. You're doing it backwards. You should have started with that.
I love just not understanding the context, but Derek just criticizing this man's like intellectual development on like political philosophy.
Why are you just now getting to the classics?
I want to see the timeline where Derek knows about this guy and just dresses him down before he dies. Just like, why did you do it this way?
Aristotle didn't fucking die for this shit.
I love this. I did not expect Derek to express his opinions on philosophy today, but here we go. We'll sip to that.
Look, okay, I'm going to just say right now, Immanuel Kant is the only like Western philosopher that I will confidently say got nothing right.
Oh my God! Holy shit!
Even philosophers that I disagree with stumbled upon some sort of internal truth that you could build off of. Immanuel Kant was not one of them. He was wrong. He gave nothing of importance to the Western canon. Why did you choose that guy to be your favorite? Why not? Even if you just stuck with fucking Plato, for God's sake, become like a manosphere guy and obsess over fucking Marcus Aurelius. Become a Stoic. Like, at least they're cool. Immanuel Kant?
Sounds like he was being a cunt.
Immanuel Kant.
No, I was talking about our guy, but you can go with that.
No, that is our guy. Our guy is Immanuel Kant.
Yeah. Woo! I was not expecting to get Derek's opinions on philosophy today, but I love it.
God, just fucking. Just be a Hegelian. Just be a Hegelian and go to bed at 2 a.m. Don't give a shit about your fucking routine. Just be a Hegelian.
Derek, you know half of the shit you're saying is going over my head. More than half, like 90%.
If he just stuck with Hegel. Hegel has his issues, but at least he's not Kant. God, fuck. Even if you were a fucking goddamn, like, I don't know, be a fucking, like, if you want this kind of neuroticism in your life, just be a fucking Nietzschean. Just read Nietzsche. Just be the Ubermensch. Like, stop. Just, this guy's pissing me off. I'm sorry. Just fucking Friedrich.
I'm just sitting here enjoying the show, Derek.
Friedrich Nietzsche, Marcus Aurelius. If you wanted structure in your life, they're so much better. Ugh. God, it's like somebody telling me their favorite Star Trek movie is Into Darkness. Like, oh, Jesus. Anyways, I'm sorry. I'm done with my rant.
Okay, so in April of 78, during his second year of university, he majored in politics and studied at the Faculty of Law. Third year, he paused for a year at the end of the break. He failed his judicial exam, an exam for higher level civil servants, which I don't know which exams exactly that equates to, like, here. And then during his fourth and last year,
we don't. Yeah, here in the U.S., we don't really have like a dedicated test for civil service. It's just like you just apply to it like any other job.
Funny enough, did you know that in Japan there is a test to be a paralegal, and it's actually more difficult than their bar exam?
Really? Why?
Yes. I think, one, their definition of paralegal is a little different than the U.S.'s, but two, I think there is just the pass rate is just so much lower than the bar exam. Like, I think they have a 15% success rate because there was a actor who was involved in either Kamen Rider or Super Sentai who announced that they passed their paralegal exam, and it came with a little blurb saying how it's only like a 15% pass rate.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy. A test with a 15% pass rate is wild to me.
It's almost like American engineering.
I don't know anything about how to become an engineer in the United States.
American engineering, all the engineering classes, like the math heavy ones, they all have like either the classes have to be heavily curved, or like almost everyone is getting like 30s on all their assignments.
Oh, yeah. Which is really weird to me because engineering is like, in practical application, engineering is one of those professions where you can't really fuck up at all. Never mind 70% of the time.
I think it's a structuring of the class issue, not an actual like knowledge issue, but that's just me.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
Like, because I hear it across the board, and it's just insane. He changed his major from philosophy to metaphysics. It doesn't describe it as his major. His interest changed from philosophy to metaphysics. So he gets into the works of Shinji Takahashi of the the light. I think it was Global Light Association. Don't quote me on that. And Masaru Taniguchi, which is Saicho no Lei that we talked about earlier. Um, and he accepted a job offer from a company that at the time was known as the Toman Corporation, but is now just a subsidiary of Toyota. It's Toyota Tsushiro, um, which was a Japanese trading company. Um, because he did not have good enough grades for graduate school.
Ah.
Which we already talked about how much more difficult it is to get to Japanese high school, and I bet you that compounds in Japanese universities. So I imagine Japanese graduate schools even more difficult. You know.
Oh yeah, Japanese PhDs have to be one of the most neurotic fucking people on the planet. I can't imagine the absolute rotten atmosphere in a Japanese graduate school.
Yeah. So he graduates in spring of '81 because their school year is like from April to March.
April to March. That's so weird.
I don't quote me like specifically, but like theirs is like late winter, early spring is when their school year officially starts each year. I do know that.
So they just have like long breaks kind of scattered throughout the whole year instead of just like
I think they do more week breaks than the month break because they don't really get a like an American version of like a summer break or a winter break.
yeah, it sounds less like semesters and just kind of like it just keeps going.
They're more like the year round model. Yeah, they're closer to the year round model. Um, I think I think during the summer that like late July August like, and this is based only on like my experience with Persona, but Persona is set like in a Japanese high school every time, and they kind of follow the Japanese high school schedule. I think that's when you'll get like 2 or 3 weeks off, but it's not like the 2 months that we're used to. Um, so he took this job, and he was there in Tokyo.
Hmm.
Whew. This is where we're probably going to switch over to their website, but I want to see how much it gives here. Okay. So, right around the time he was graduating at the age of 24, do you know what happened to him?
Hmm.
This is the starting of the cult. So, like, something batshit.
Oh, let me guess. He had a vision.
Basically, on March 23rd, 1981, at the age of 24, he had a spiritual awakening and attained great enlightenment with the mission to bring happiness to all of humanity.
All right.
Also, their description of like Wikipedia put more effort into his biography than the cult did. Oh shit! Wow. This. Let's just say, if we're going off of the Wikipedia article, it has so much more. But like, Jesus. Okay. Um, he experienced a Buddha enlightenment, is what he said. By being in contact with a divine spirit. His divine spirit is Nico Shoin. Um, it is one of the six senior disciples of Nichiren, and was the former chief priest. Like, a it's something big that like we wouldn't have the context and not the time to like go over. Um, he claimed a person.
Is it like Japanese mythology that it's based on?
Um, it's a niche Buddhist sect from Japan that was active from March of 1246 to February of 1333.
Okay, that's
No, no, no. That's his. No, 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 no. That was his. That's what he lived to. Sorry. Um, let me go from here. Sorry, I thought I clicked on the right thing. Um, fuck. It's a follower of a very famous Japanese Buddhist monk.
okay. It's it's like he claimed that he
He claimed he got spiritual enlightenment from the disciple of a, for them would have been a well-known Buddhist monk from Japan, like one of his disciples.
okay. Okay, gotcha. I'm picking up what you're laying down.
Um, he suddenly got the feeling someone was trying to communicate with him, so he grabbed a pencil and a card, and his hand started to move on its own, and it wrote out, "Good news, good news." Who the fuck? Who? How is this the start of your cult? Hey, I just felt like someone was trying to talk to me, and my hand wrote on its own, "Good news, good news."
Well, good news is a phrase that is like that specific wording is very important in Christianity because the word of God is referred to as the good news. Like that when like in a Christian context, that's what that means.
Okay, okay, okay.
So I think that's probably what it's referencing.
And then he asked who was talking to him, and he gave his hand signed out Nico, which is the like we said the disciple of the monk. Um, a week later, the actual Buddhist uh, I don't know if he was a philosopher, like the Buddhist monk himself reaches out. Nichiren started contacting Okawa, and apparently they communicated every day from March to July of that year, while he was still working with Toman.
Okay.
Uh, and he asked what his mission would be, and it says love others, nurture others, forgive others. Pretty basic.
Right, yeah.
And then he claims that the spirit of Tadashi Shinji told him that it was his destiny to found a new religion.
That's convenient.
And upon hearing this, his father, who was this guy who followed these works, immediately woes to Chokyoke and becomes a follower of his son.
All right, dude.
You want to know what spirits talk to him next?
Ooh, it's either Jesus or some of the apostles. That's what I'm guessing.
So Kukai, which is another Buddhist monk, Japanese Buddhist monk. Shinran, another Japanese Buddhist monk. Confucius,
Okay. All right.
good old Jesus Herald Christ himself, the first JoJo.
Right.
Moses,
Moses.
and Nostradamus.
What the fuck? That is so out of left field. One of these things just doesn't belong here.
You're telling me he supposedly videotaped this.
I believe him. I believe there's a videotape out there of him writing stuff out on a piece of paper and saying that it came from Jesus and Nostradamus.
He started publishing spiritual messages. He published 13 books from 1985 to 1987 that consisted these.
Okay, so this is the 80s. He was on cocaine, surely. Like this is cocaine.
There's no doubt in my mind.
Like there's no way this wasn't cocaine fueled.
Eventually, the books slowly got. Basically, he refined his stuff and discontinued everything except for the messages from Buddha. And then he actively told people not to translate his works into English, Chinese, or Korean, saying foreigners should not know until the time is ripe.
Okay. All right, dude. You
There's another person who believes the reason why he did that is because it would be very clear he just plagiarized bullshit.
Yeah, yeah, I could see that. God,
Here comes the part where you might call a shot.
this guy would be so into ChatGPT.
Oh my god, he would have formed a religion around it.
God, this dude.
So, Derek, do you have a shot ready?
Yes, I do.
Because the next statement I'm about to say is going to make you call a shot. I'm like 90% sure of it.
All right, shoot me.
He claimed to be the current incarnation of a god called El Contraire and a number of other beings, including Hermes and the Buddha.
Wait. Say that first one again.
El Contraire. It's Cantare.
El Contre? Hold on.
I'm probably saying that with a Japanese with an more Spanish pronunciation, but it's a Japanese word, so it probably is not being pronounced right. He claimed that he was the incarnation of a highest spiritual being named El Contraire, one of the 10 highest spiritual beings. He made up his own spiritual being that was higher than Buddha.
Okay, so he made it up.
As far as I know, it's not mentioned anywhere else.
So, okay. El Cantare, I'm guessing.
Let me see if I can't find...
Okay, I'm guessing it's...
Cantare, sorry. I probably... like
which is...
We all know Tim's dyslexic at this point.
Which is really interesting because El is the ancient, Hebrew Semitic phrase which refers to... It's like the ancient name for the god that would eventually become the god of the Hebrews, the Jewish god, the Abrahamic god.
Yeah. Okay, so let me try. I'm trying to find like just a list of like all the incarnations he claimed to be real quick, so we can go over that.
Okay, yeah, I think this is a good shot because that's fucking wild.
He's known as the Buddha, the Enlightenment reincarnation of the Buddha, embodied in El Cantare, the Great Spirit of the Terrestrial Spirit Group. Beautiful land of light, Earth is what that translates to. He's also known as the Internal Buddha, this Buddha is related to the Creator God, known as the Primordial Buddha.
So far, I'm hearing a lot.
He's believed
more.
to have many past incarnations, such as King Lamu from the continent of Mu, a king named Thoth on the continent of Atlantis, a king named Renit Arl-Krald from the Inca Empire.
Okay. Thoth is the Thoth is the Egyptian god of knowledge.
I had heard of Thoth before
Yeah.
as the Egyptian god of knowledge, not in an Atlantic context of Atlantis, so I thought maybe there's a little bit of different lore or history there, but who knows?
Maybe like a very like he got his wires crossed between like Hermetic mysticism and like Atlantean conspiracy theories, which Atlantean conspiracists like to use a lot of,
as
like,
we talked about
Hermetic.
last week. Atlantis conspiracy theories are just fucking insane.
I fucking love Atlantis conspiracy theories.
Orpheus and Hermes are supposedly all previous incarnations of the same divine being. So like
Hmm.
basically he's claiming to have been these people as well.
Okay, yeah, let's go ahead and shoot for that because that's fucking wild. That bro.
Cheers. I told you would call a shot on that.
It's
Surprisingly enough, this is actually better as it warms up. This citron.
I I can't help but notice that there's a lot of. I wonder what kind of influence he's getting from like hermetic mysticism, because
This is one of those times where I want to like dig deep into the stuff and like I would want to like boots on the like I would actually want to make it me and you go out and do a full on documentary of this kind of
yeah,
shit. But one, we would never have the money. But two, I don't think they would speak to us. Like, not just take it into us, but like, I just don't think they would trust our interest, even if we try to take it from a good
yeah,
like like
yeah. But I'm just
I just want to find out how this like their ideas around this work because like what the fuck.
yeah, I'm just I'm fascinating that he's specific. I'm fascinated that he's specifically referencing Hermes and Thoth, which are two very important figures in a specific type of like ancient sort of Greco-Egyptian mysticism, which is kind of served as a basis for like a lot.
Derek's out here with the actual philosophical deconstruction because he knows enough about history to be like, and political theory. Like, okay, the implications of this are like wild.
I just happen to have a recent interest in learning about the history of. I found this fascinating YouTube channel called Esoterica, which does a lot of.
Oh, you were telling me about that. I still haven't watched anything, but I followed them, so I need to watch some of their stuff.
Yeah, but if you watch any of his stuff on like Hermeticism and like the history of like the development of Hermetic philosophy and that kind of Hermetic mysticism, that it has its roots in like these old like these ancient Egyptian ceremonial practices that were kind of translated into a Greek pagan sort of context, and then that sort of served as a sort of like a bedrock for later European esoteric, like Christian esotericism, and specifically referencing Thoth and Hermes in that context is it just makes me think that he probably has some exposure to hermetic philosophy as well, even if maybe he's not even like consciously aware of it. But I'm betting that there was some of that in the stuff that he was studying that made him kind of come up with these ideas.
They had a rivalry dating back to the 90s when Happy Science criticized the cult. He called the leader a frog.
That's good. I like that. That's a good insult.
Well, apparently they had aquatic yoga practices as part of the cult at a certain point, so it makes even more sense.
That's really good. How did this like? Where did this cult operate? Like, this is it kind of?
It's in Tokyo for the most part. It has branches across the world.
Do they operate on like a compound or?
Uh, it doesn't really give. I don't think there's a compound. I think I think it's got more of a traditional religious context where like they have like a they have like a place of worship, but like not. It's it doesn't have like the connotations of like we think of a compound at the very least for here in America.
So it's not like an isolationist sort of high control group. It's more like a
No, not by they still have followers across the world with branches across the world today.
it's more like a Jehovah's Witnesses sort of situation.
Yes, it's much closer to that. The leader of Aum Shinrikyo, Shoko Ashihara, criticized Okawa for not having ascetic training and lack of doctrinal knowledge.
Well, yeah, yeah. His philosophical roots are in Kant. Like he's not going to be very well aware of much of anything.
He was criticized for having little knowledge of his own teachings and faking his spiritual messages.
Which kind of rich coming from one cult leader to another.
Ashihara posted a book mocking Akawa, so Happy Science's leader's superficial knowledge of Buddhism. Apparently, they were invited on a live television debate, but Okawa declined to participate.
Oh my god, I want to see a televised debate between two cult leaders. That would be the
I would have loved to see that.
that would be the funniest shit in the goddamn world. Oh my god, that is so good.
For unknown reasons, it failed for unknown reasons, but in February of 1995, Aum Shinrikyo members attempted an assassination of Okawa using a nerve agent in the air conditioning system of his car, but it failed.
Oh, you fucking losers. You can't win him, you can't beat him in a debate, so you fucking
I didn't realize there was a connection between these two cults, or I didn't even, when I scheduled this out, I didn't realize that I was going to do two Japanese cults in a row. So this is kind of like icing on the cake. It's quite hilarious. Getting into his personal life again. So in April of '88, he marries Kyoko. She was born August of '65. She played a member. She was kind of part of the spiritual leaderness of Happy Science. But the way he describes it, do you want to? This is the most she belongs in the kitchen way to describe it, but without saying she belongs in the kitchen.
okay, go for it.
When asked about his marriage with Kyoko, Okawa said, it provided his life with a stable basis that enabled me to concentrate even more on my task.
It's like it reminds me so much of Ho Chi Minh, like responding to people criticizing him for marrying a Chinese woman. Like people would make fun of him for marrying a Chinese woman, and he'd just respond with like, "Why? She can cook and clean same as any other wife."
Jesus Christ. Apparently, she also published books for Happy Science. They divorced. When was the divorce date?
I was gonna say real quick, as far as cult leaders go, having only a 12-year age difference with the wife and waiting until she's in her 20s to actually marry her, pretty progressive as far as cult leaders go.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So they got divorced in 2020.
Not to give credit to a cult leader, but
It's not real giving him credit. It's just like, hey, he could have been worse.
yeah, yeah. I'd like to retract my previous tweets. You do not, in fact, have to hand it to ISIS.
No. He gets divorced from Kyoko in 2012 and marries a girl named Shiho. And
Oh no! How old is she?
I'm looking that up now. Trying to think.
He's like almost 70 at this point.
Ooh.
Oh, when was she born?
September 22nd, 1985.
95. Okay, at least she was in her 20s.
I was,
It's not good.
I'm trying to remember what year he was born, so I gotta go back up.
Like 50.
There's like a 30-year
53, I think.
difference, Derek!
Yeah, there's like a 30-year difference, but like at least she's of age. Like we're grading on a curve here. Like this is an engineering class.
Members of Happy Science believe her to be an incarnation of the goddess Gaia.
Oh, shut the fuck up. God, I'm so fucking sick of hearing about Gaia.
Oh, God. Jesus. On February 28th of 2023, he was hospitalized after fainting in his home in Minato, Tokyo, and he passed away on March 2nd at the age of 66.
'66. Wait, I thought he was born in the '50s.
That's what it said. Fuck, let me do...
2023?
That's what it's... so... 42... 50... I mean, 44... 54... 2010... 60... Okay, it was right before... You know, that the math was math, and he was born in 56, and then he died in 23 before his birthday. So he was 66. Math.
Oh shit, it does.
I can't believe I had to sanity check Derek on math. Although I have been the more mathematically inclined of the two of us.
Yeah, I'm not. I think I could do math faster than you, but you know more about it.
I'm decently fast at mental maths. I just try not to most of the time. Because most of the time when you ask me to do stuff, I'm already drunk. And I'm like, fuck you, I'm not doing math while drunk.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I guess I'm the history guy of the two of us, I think. I'm the liberal arts guy of the two of us.
We're both liberal arts guys. Fuck off.
Okay, fair. I can spell better than you.
Yes, I'm dyslexic. I'm more dyslexic than you. Fuck off, Derek.
That means I win by default.
I'm going to run to the restroom, and then we'll get into the summaries of some of his animes that his cult put out.
Oh, hell yes. Hell yes. I'm so excited. Oh, that was fast.
I just had to take a quick pee break. Okay, so the oldest one, can you guess when it came out? We don't have a summary for it, but can you guess when it came out?
I'm guessing the 90s.
91.
Sorry, real quick, I'm going to send you a picture of a new model that Trench Crusade just put out. Not relevant, just...
Ooh, that gets into a little bit of body horror right there.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you what the lore is behind it after we're done recording.
Okay, so I'm not gonna try and pronounce the name of the first one because it's in Romanji, so it uses our alphabet, but like it's spelling out a Japanese word. I don't want to butcher it. Just so
Yeah, I think we've done enough of that this episode.
The first one that we have a summary of is Hermes, Winds of Love from 1997.
Hermes. Fascinating.
In ancient Greece, Crete and all the country states are under attack by the aggressive King Minos. However, the people have hope, a child, Hermes, born with the blessings of the heavens and is destined to bring peace to the land. At the command of I am dyslexic. Ophiophilis, god of creation.
I've never heard that name before, so.
Hermes will set forth to restore harmony to Greece and become its king. Yet even after this task, Hermes and his lover Aphrodite will have many other adventures, including having a child, discovering the world of the gods, and even going to hell itself.
You know, this.
Actually, I want to share my screen with you on this one because this has a very 90s anime vibe.
This just sounds like the plot of like a really boring anime, like just a normal anime plot.
This is the poster for it.
Oh, that is aggressively 90s. That's like bargain bin knockoff Berserk right there is what that is.
That is the original OVA of JoJo's 90s. Without the coolness of JoJo. Next is The Laws of the Sun. Many eons ago, an alien named, this is from the year 2000, an alien named El Cantare and several other godlike beings arrived in our solar system and populated the planet Venus, creating the human race. Global warming forced the humans to immigrate to Earth, where the aliens assessed them in building assisted them in building advanced civilizations. When a corrupt king named Satan falls to hell and begins leading souls astray, El Cantare descends to Earth and reincarnates many times to guide people to the path of light. Reincarnated alongside him are a group of people who reportedly witness his wisdom and miracles as he introduces religions to the lost continents of Mu and Atlantis, saves people from an alien cult in the ancient Incan Empire, and finally enlightenment to ancient India as Shakyamuni Buddha, which it's the Buddha everyone thinks of, like you know, like the one that everyone like the fat guy that everyone thinks of when you think of Buddha.
This okay.
There's so much to unpack here, is there not, Derek?
Okay, the first one sounded like just a normal anime plot, and what I meant by that is that they will take like Western mythology or a Western story, and kind of intentionally misunderstand it to create it kind of filter it through like a Japanese cultural lens. Like that's what that first anime sounded like. This second one sounds like that, but they're packing in a bunch of cultures that the average Japanese person would never have even thought to think about before.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They're starting to get into like when has an anime ever mentioned the Incan Empire? Like that.
I certain to God hope it's in the under double digits.
Like it just sounds like an anime plot, but it sounds off for an anime plot because it's featuring.
It sounds like racism that doesn't realize it's racism.
Yeah, it's like because Japanese like anime just never touches on non-Western, like non-white cultures very often, and so seeing one even as like flawed as this one is almost feels kind of progressive. I mean, it's through a really fucking dumb
It's not.
I know it's not, but it feels like imagine like a non-cult anime production studio doing like an anime adaptation of like an Incan creation myth. Like,
I don't know how well that would go out.
Yeah, it wouldn't work in Japan because nobody in Japan's ever fucking heard of the Incan Empire.
So you ready for the next? Oh, I meant to do this. This was an idea I had. So we're gonna, since we don't know anything about that first one, we'll take a sip about the 1991 anime. I want you to rate each summary. Is it a sip, 3 sips, shot? So what was Hermes? Just a sip?
Hermes is a sip.
So we'll take a sip for Hermes. Then Laws of the Sun, that one we just talked about with the Incan Empire.
I think that's getting crazy enough to warrant 3 sips.
Okay. Next is the one I referenced in your part. This is where the time travel comes in. A religious student from the 25th century and a girl from the 30th century travel through time, witnessing famous scenes from various world religions. They observe the battles of the Greek god Hermes, Moses parting the Red Sea, the miracles of the Shakyamuni Buddha, Jesus Christ's death and resurrection, and the enlightenment of the legendary Chinese monk I do apologize. I have no idea how that's actually pronounced, and I'm not even going to attempt another pronunciation. The children are taught how all these people, as well as all of humanity, are connected together in the great flow of time.
You know, I'm not going to lie. This actually sounds fucking rad. This one actually sounds.
So I watched a video about a guy going through the history of I was talking about Mother's Basement. He goes through and watches all of these and gives his critiques, and he'll stop through each of the plot points and explains why they're fucking stupid or insane, and it's hilarious. This one came out in 2003, by the way. How do you rate this one?
That's going to be a 3 sip. No. 1 sip. Yeah, that's a 1 sip.
You can give the we don't normally have this rule, but you can have a 2 sip too.
No, I think this one's just a 1 sip because I think the time travel concept is genuine. I mean, I know it's been done before, but I think it's genuinely a concept that it's as far as
It's a fun concept that can bring interesting insight.
it's a type of vicarious fan not fan service, that's a different thing, but a sort of viewers fulfillment type thing that we all kind of want to go, anybody who's interested in history kind of wants to go back and view some stuff like that. We all want to go back in time and just be a witness to some stuff.
I mean, we've talked about this many a times on the podcast. I don't know how often it's come, how many times I've actually let it get into the episode because I can't ever remember what I actually made because it ended the public and not. But we have genuinely talked about it a fucking lot.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think it's a genuinely interesting concept just filtered through the lens of a crazy person.
Oh yeah,
So I think that's just going to be a 1 sip for me.
okay. I think I already took my sip, but I'll take another one in case I didn't.
Who cares?
The Laws of Eternity from 2006. Ryuta and his friends from the Science Club visit a museum exhibit on Thomas Edison, and it's there they learn about one of his proposed inventions called the spirit phone, which would enable communication with the deceased. Later that day, they bump into a shaman who claims she has a message from Edison. In an instant, Yuta is given the knowledge necessary he needs to construct the device and decides to go for it, so beginning a spiritual adventure. Holy shit, this was done by Toei Animation.
This one's a weird one. The weird focus on Thomas Edison is something I've not seen in an anime before.
Or a cult, to be honest.
Huh. I'd say that's a 2 sip. That's a 2 sip. That's getting up there. We're getting.
You've piqued Derek's curiosity.
We're getting crazier as we go along. I'm enjoying. I'm liking this. I'm liking the slow slope into insanity that I'm kind of sensing we're on. I like how all of these have 3 stars.
So the next one is called Buddha Saitan, apologies. Alternate title: the rebirth of Buddha. 17-year-old, 2009 release date. 17-year-old Sayako Anokawa. Apologies if I got that even moderately right. Aspires to be a journalist, just like Kanemoto, an elite newspaper writer she looks up to. But Kanemoto shammed from an erroneous report about a corrupt scandal, jumps in front of a train and commits suicide. Since that incident, Sayako suddenly becomes able to see spirits and almost loses her life. However, from that near fatal incident, she experiences something extraordinary. The journalist inside her stirred, she embarks to find out the truth, but the forces that stand in her way turn out to be much more formidable than she imagined.
Okay, wait. So this journalist that she looks up to jumps in front of a train. And then all of a sudden she's able to see ghosts.
Basically.
Okay. I'd be interested in watching this if I want to watch this if for no other reason than I want to figure out what the fuck this has to do with their belief, like the cult's beliefs. Like what kind of
Honestly, like some of them are like insanely like I can't believe a cult put this out as part of like obviously it probably isn't directly related to their beliefs on some of them, but like you're like holy shit. Like I wish we had set enough time together like to have recorded this, taken a pause, and then me and you just binge watch all of them together and got just absolutely wasted as more time went on. But I feel like that's something we would save for a Patreon.
yeah. Yeah, I was actually just thinking yeah, let's get to the next one. I want to hear more about these fucking crazy plots.
The next one is Shippu no Ho, the Mystic Laws.
Yeah, by the way, I love that all of these are rated 3 stars. Cuz apparently they're
You're going to say that every time it shows up 3 stars again, aren't you?
because I'm just saying because apparently like even though these were made by a cult, apparently they were good enough that a small handful of people really like them.
Well, to be fair, I don't think this is like this is a niche website. This is Anime Planet that's giving us our summaries, not like my anime list or anything like that. So take that with a grainer. Sorry, it's also been rated by 555 users on this specific one. So like, yes,
That's a lot of people. That's like I mean, I get that like anime has a lot of people like watching it, and I'm sure you get like tens of thousands on other.
but for niche cult animes, I feel like that's a lot. Yeah, you're right. For a niche cult anime. The Mystic Laws, released in 2012. This place takes place in 2010s, like you know where they do the X, so it's like there's no definitive year. When the newly formed empire of Goldum is threatening to take over the world by using mysterious technology offered to them by the Reika clan, the mysterious female president of a trading company. The protagonist of the film, Shinsumo Sho, is the man who has the mystical technology that can stop the empire of Goldum. But after being hunted down by the empire, he's saved by mysterious Indians who tell him about a prophecy about the second coming of a savior. What the fuck did I just read?
Wait just a fucking minute here.
What the fuck did I just read?
What do you mean? What do you mean by Indians?
I don't know. I'm scared. I didn't proofread any of these before we got on here.
Did they say okay? Okay, I really need to know if this is India Indians or if this is Native Americans.
I am going to do further research for you because I need to know too.
Because if this is Native, if they put Native Americans in here as a plot point,
They've already mentioned the Incas, which are Native Americans, not the way we think of it, but like they are Native Americans.
yeah. But no, absolutely. But like North American natives, if they are in this anime, I am going to
Fuck you, TV tropes. That's staying in the podcast, and I'm not giving any context. I can't find any more information so far. What the fuck?
I'm sorry. Because here's the thing, because it is a cult that's based on the new age spiritualism. It could be either Native Americans or Indians. Or India Indians.
I think they're meaning Indians. I think they're meaning India Indians because I found another place in a mysterious military leader armed with extraterrestrial knowledge. This is from letterbox.com. Stages a coup and becomes the new emperor of the world, superpower of Asia. Yeah, it's talking about India Indians, not Native Americans.
Okay. That would be it's got me thinking now, are there any
Well, I feel like they mentioned because they mentioned the Inca. We were just kind of in the spot, like, oh, they might mention Native Americans in general. Like, I think that's kind of what opened us to the idea.
no, I'm just wondering now, I'm sure there's been like a very, I mean, granted a very racist caricature, but like a North American indigenous character in an anime before, surely.
Oh, there's got to be plenty. So, what is the mystic? How many sips or shots is the mystic laws worth?
If it had been Native American Indians, I would have made it a shot. But since it's India Indians, we'll do 2 sips because that is a fucking crazy. That's a crazy plot.
Where did I put that bottle opener?
Laws of the Universe Part 0.
This is going to be 3 parts, so 0, 1, and 2. This one was released in 2015.
Why? Wait. Why isn't it called 1, 2, and 3? Is this like a Star? It's a Star Wars situation where it starts with Episode 4.
Okay, Laws of the Universe, Part 0. Strange and mysterious events litter the campus of Nakaza Academy. Students are experiencing blackouts, waking up in strange places, and one group of academic misfits suddenly become the star students of the school. When one student confides in her sister, Haley, about her blackout, Haley and her friends, Ray, Anna, and Tyler, and Yusuke? Isuke? I have no idea. It's not pronounced like it's not spelled like Yusuke. That's worthy of a sip right there, Derek. Turn to their trusted professor, Suguro Yoke. In order to get to the bottom of these mysterious mysteries, the professor hypnotizes Haley's sister and discovers that the blackouts and the disappearances are linked to one thing: aliens! I was trying to do the ancient aliens voices, but it's aliens! Aliens. Yes. The students discover that the reptile aliens have infiltrated Nakaza Academy and that they definitely don't come in peace. Ray and his friends try and convince the school that the reptilians about the reptilians, but no one believes them. Ray finds a moon rock to prove his claim, but before they can show anyone, it gets stolen. Seeing how discouraged the students are, the professor confesses that he has developed a machine to contact the aliens. Using the mystical laws of, like, attracts, like, his machine attempts contact with the Umite alien who takes the students on an adventure of a lifetime in his UFO, visiting different planets, discovering the truth to many secrets. However, when they return, they discover a trap awaiting them set by the messenger from the flip side universe. Will Ray and his friends save Earth before it's destroyed for good? Oh my god, I can't believe I just read that! What the fuck did I just read, Derek? That's a shot, right? Right? What the fuck did I just read? I think I broke Derek. He's still trying to process. But I'm right, right? Imagine growing up and being like a middle schooler or an early high schooler and watching this anime. This came out the year you graduated high school, Derek. I cannot believe I read those sentences string together, Derek.
I'm so proud of you. They found a way to fit reptilians.
I was not ready for lizard people, Derek.
I wasn't ready for people either, which is why I'm pleasantly surprised. If we get one of these that mentions
End of episode right then and there. Sorry, people. Derek decided to say fuck off and ended his recording right here. I apologize. I can't continue. I don't think it. Oh my god! This is part 0, Derek.
A Japanese piece of media that has a Western set of characters with a token Japanese character is fucking. It's so that is so funny. That is so good.
Noah Feudal Neat wakes up in Denver International Airport. Oh my god. Gave you 3d6 psychic damage. Derek didn't know we were ending the campaign with the BBEG on episode 0. Power word, kill! But I didn't say it like that, but anytime I hear power word kill, I think of that clip from what is it? With Steve Harvey. What's the name of the show? Family Feud. With that one episode where he's like, Kill! Yes! Every time, power word kill. Kill! I think of Steve Harvey saying it. Steve Harvey just executes that perfectly on that. Okay. I was not ready for this summary. Like I did not I wanted to go into these summaries blind just like you, but I kind of feel like I should have not gone into them blind. Jesus Christ.
Oh, fuck. Man, I don't know if I can handle another shot.
But I'm right?
I'm sorry. I'm just imagining these fucking kids.
Imagine growing up and being like a middle schooler or a early high schooler and watching this anime. This came out the year you graduated high school, Derek.
I'm just imagining this bunch of high school kids getting warped up to a spaceship that'll take them off on an adventure to go see the universe. And it's fucking like Queen Elizabeth and she's still alive and she's the reptilian that's fucking taking them on this adventure. And they found a way to fit reptilians into
I cannot believe I read those sentences string together, Derek.
I'm so proud of them. They found a way to fit reptilians into their theology.
I was not ready for lizard people, Derek.
I wasn't ready for lizard people either, which is why I'm pleasantly surprised. If we get one of these that mentions Hollow Earth, I am going to I'm just gonna go to bed.
End of episode right then and there.
Sorry,
people. Derek decided to say fuck off and ended his recording right here.
Yeah,
I apologize.
Yeah, no,
I can't continue.
As soon as they mention Hollow Earth, we're done for the night. I can't. They've got the lizard people in.
I don't think it.
Yeah, the next anime. The next anime is. The next anime is a.
This is part 0, Derek.
The next one is a NEET in Tokyo gets hit by a bus and wakes up in Denver International Airport.
No, a feudal NEET wakes up in Denver International Airport. Oh my god.
What you just read to me sounds. This does not sound like.
Gave you 3d6 psychic damage.
10d6 psychic damage. We're doing like level 14 D&D right now. This is some 10d6. This is like fight against the big bad evil guy.
Derek didn't know we were ending the campaign with the BBEG on episode 0.
He's just. This cult has just cast fucking kill. Fucking power word kill or whatever the fucking spell is.
Power word kill! But.
And I'm just fucking level 3.
I didn't say it like that, but anytime I hear power word kill, I think of that clip from what is it? With Steve Harvey. What's the name of the show?
Family Feud. Yeah, the one where he...
Family Feud.
Where he just
with that one episode where he's like, kill! Yes! Every time, power word kill. Kill! I think of Steve Harvey saying it.
Pascal.
Steve Harvey just executes that perfectly on that.
Okay, this one I have to give it a shot. I have to. I do not have a choice.
Okay. I was not ready for this summary. Like I did not I wanted to go into these summaries blind just like you, but I kind of feel like I should have not gone into them blind. Jesus Christ. Cheers.
Prost. God, they're getting crazier. These plots are getting crazier.
I didn't think they could though, Derek, is what the issue is.
And this one was 2015? I graduated 2016.
Yes. You graduated in 2015, right? Oh, I thought you were one of those birthdays that lets you be a year ahead, but hey ho. Okay. So we did graduate the same year. So Laws of the Universe Part 1 instead of Part 0. University students Ray, Anna, Tyler, Haley, Iske, enjoying college life. So they're no longer high school. No, they were college students, Part 0. And pursuing their dreams, but in reality, they have a secret mission. Fight the invading reptilians from outer space.
Fucking goddamn it.
One day, Ray travels back in time to 330 million years ago on Earth to find his missing friend Tyler, who's fallen into a trap set by the evil alien Dahar. During that time, Alpha, the god of Earth, was planning to create a new civilization on Earth and invited Queen Zamsa and her family of reptilians from the planet Zeta to Earth.
And that's how we got dinosaurs.
What the what the fuck did I just read, Derek? Time travel, reptile people, God invites. Oh my god. That's like 3 sips, right? Because it's not as insane as Part 0. But
It's not as insane as Part 0, but that is definitely 3 sips. I was waiting for you. Like, I was as soon as you mentioned going back in time, I was expecting, like, oh, they're going to go back to Atlantis. They're going to go back to, like,
also, this came out in 2018. And it's 120 minutes. It's 2 hours long, Derek.
What were you doing in 2018? You were at NEO, weren't you?
Depends on what time, but I was either graduating from NEO or starting UCO.
Let's see, what was I doing? 2018, I was...
You would have been just starting UC at NEO, either at Texas A&M or NEO.
No, I wouldn't have been at Texas A&M.
Did you take a gap year?
You could say that. That's one way to put it. I was so...
You haven't gotten into your Texas A&M history as much with me, so I haven't ever pried because I know it's not an easy time for you.
No, the being at A&M part was a great time for me. It was getting kicked out afterwards. It was the difficult time for me. No, I was genuinely so horribly depressed and suicidal that I couldn't get out of bed for like a year.
Oof.
I wasn't working or anything. I was just at home. I got really into modding Skyrim. It's when I watched my first anime. But other than that, like...
What was your first anime?
Oh, shit. I don't even fucking remember now. I genuinely don't remember. It might have been Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. I think that was my first. No. Death Note was my first one.
Okay. Still a solid start.
And it was a bad start because it was the English dub on Netflix.
Oh! Fuck you!
Yeah, it was not a good start to my my anime experience. But then after that, I found out about Crunchyroll, and my experience was a little better after that.
Well, I'm not sure we'll get it. Oh, nope. I found my anime list. I found it. I found it. Okay. Part 2. So they had no synopsis on the website we were using previously, but I found the my anime list synopsis for the Universal Laws Part 2.
Okay.
Takes place on Earth 150 million years ago instead of 330 million years ago. At the time on Earth, various aliens lived in harmony by accepting each other under the god of Earth, Elohim. However, one day a huge meteorite flies towards the Earth at high speeds. Before the meteorite hits, a female soldier from the planet Vega, Yazel, comes and she narrowly protects the Earth from destruction. It was actually a plan to annihilate the Earth by Dahar, the main bad from the last one, who is from the dark side of the universe. What will happen at the end of the battle for the survival of the Earth that involves the universe? And I assume our main characters from the last couple episodes are still there too. But
This is. First of all, are you familiar with the term Elohim?
I I have followed a couple people on TikTok that go over across like the discrepancy in the translation of the Bible. Dan something does that, and they're like, "Hey, what does the Bible actually say?" He's like an actual scholar of the Bible, and like he's also a nerd. Like he'll wear like a comic book T-shirt, or like an American nerd, like and he's pretty chill. And he's mentioned that I think it can mean like Council of Gods, but it's also the name of a specific god before they try to monotheize the Bible.
Yeah. Yeah, so prior to the Babylonian exile, Elohim was the generally accepted term for. It was one of the. I can't remember how many. There's an old tradition in like ancient Hebrew Israelite lore that God has like 999 names or something like that. But Elohim was supposed to be like the greatest of his names.
Elohim, Adonai, Yahweh.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Um,
I don't know if Adonai is actually a name or an anagram. Like, uh, I know that from Dan McClellan. That's what I remember. Dan McClellan. That's the guy. He was asked not to use the term, the name Yahweh, because some people view that as taking the Lord's name in vain, even though he's a scholar. He knows technically it's not, but respecting others people, he just uses Adonai.
yeah, it's the same reason why religiously observant Jewish people, like if you follow them on social media, whenever they refer to God, they'll censor God. They'll put an asterisk on the O for the same reason, because using the name of God has power and it has meaning that you're not supposed to just kind of throw around willy nilly. And Elohim and Yahweh are two of those kind of names for God that carry kind of the same.
Context.
Yeah, yeah. This synopsis is this plot is a little bit more boring. It's a little more boring than the other two.
Yeah, it's pretty tame compared to the other ones.
I want more of like this. I want more of the schizo posting ones. This one's just a one sit for me.
I feel like that. Feel like that because also this came out in 2021. I feel like that's only because of like how we're not getting a consistent summary. Because all the other summaries were from the same place before, but then we had to go somewhere else. So it's like not keeping the same consistency. Are you ready for the final anime summary, Derek?
Yeah, let me take my one sip for this one.
I was about to say, what was your
Yeah, one sip.
score? So this final anime came out last year. So they've still been pushing out official happy science animes even after the death of the leader in 2023.
Yeah, yeah. Is at least it's not AI. Oh, hey, this one's 4 stars.
Based on this poster I'm seeing, it looks kind of. Oh wow! So 2025, last year, HS Picture Studios. Ryusuke, a junior high student living in Tokyo during his summer vacation, visits Tokushima and reunites with his childhood cousin Toyomi. Yusuke and Toyomi go outing to the.
Wait, what do you mean? Wait, his hold on, sorry. His childhood cousin, is that the wording that they used? What?
So the thing about like that is the way that's worded. Sometimes that can refer to like a distant cousin, or it could mean someone that was like a childhood friend, but like they treated each other like cousins because like Japanese people are like, you know how a lot of people will like have friends but have their children refer to them as like aunts and uncles. It's more similar to it's closer to kind of like that.
Okay.
But like Japan doesn't really have no like unless you know the context, you can't really tell if they're talking about like, hey, it's just really a family friend that we use family terms with, or if it is actually like a familial bond.
Okay, so it's just like a cultural context thing that's translated into English rather than to be taken literally in an English like Anglo context.
It can be taken literally, but it's one of those things where like it's wishy-washy because it sometimes sometimes it's literal, sometimes it's not, but there's no distinction. Like,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, because my thing is like, what did you hit 18 years old and they stopped being your cousin? Like, what the fuck does a childhood cousin mean?
this ain't Alabama, sweet home Alabama.
Roll Tide.
Jesus Christ. They go on an outing to the Anabuki River, where they get swept away by the rushing current. As they sink to the bottom of the river, a dragon appears and rescues them and takes them to a mysterious old man.
Oh shit, we got a dragon in this one?
Did you not pay attention to the poster right here? It's got a dragon in it, Derek. Here. It's literally called... Oh, sorry. I didn't read the name. Dragon Heart, Adventures Beyond This World. That's the name of this anime. Holy shit. The old man tells Ryosuke and Toyotomi that they're already dead.
Ooh. Okay, so this is an isekai.
Maybe. The old man tells Ryosuke... but that they can send them back to life if they explore the spirit world and find their mission in life. Although perplexed with the situation, they decide to begin their journey to the spirit world. First, they arrive in a gloomy town that looks like it's from the 1960s. They are assailed by terrible things, one after another. They see fear-ridden rogues killing one another and doctors mutilating patients. People die and rise. They get killed and rise again. Ryosuke and Tomomi realize that they are in hell and that their journey doesn't end there. The adventure beyond this world continues into the unknown. Will they be able to find their mission in life?
This is the exact... Okay, I was waiting for this. I was waiting until they hit Trump's re-election.
What the fuck? What the fuck? This is just America.
I wanted to find out. I wanted to find out how fucking schizophrenic it got after Trump was reelected, and this is the most schizophrenic fucking... This is the most doomer shit.
God damn it!
Of any of these plots that you have brought up. This is Fall of Empire media right here. This is...
It is... Jesus Christ! It's 4 stars, Derek!
That is fucking... That is fucking crazy. That is a crazy plot. That is, I cannot believe that this show exists, that or this movie, whatever the fuck it is.
Oh my god! Oh, I feel like we're taking more shots than sips this episode.
No, this needs a shot. This actually genuinely needs a shot. They're in hell. They die and they go to hell and they need to crawl their way back out.
They don't sugarcoat it. This ain't angel beats. Hey, we're in purgatory. No, you're in hell, bitch.
That is the most doomer shit I've ever heard in my entire goddamn life. That is crazy.
Oh my god. I was not ready for this one to be a... Oh my god, Derek.
They're in hell.
I was not ready for this one. I'm glad I went into this like blind on the summaries. Like this works so much better with blind.
Perfectly blind like a fucking newborn baby chick on Easter. I was perfectly innocent and now I've been exposed to the horrors that lie within the human soul. I feel like this is the same feeling that I had reading fucking Lord of the Flies for the first time.
Honestly, I think I was exposed to worse shit before I was exposed to Lord of the Flies for the first time. I was bored with Lord of the Flies. I was like, what do you expect?
Yeah. Fun fact,
I can't tell you what formed my opinion that led me to that, but I was already a junior in high school when I read Lord of the Flies. I was already in high school, for sure.
yeah, fun fact, the Lord of the Flies situation actually happened in real life. And do you know what happened? Like a bunch of kids ended up getting stranded on a desert island for a couple months. And do you know what happened?
They didn't Lord of the Flies it?
Yeah, they just worked together and they survived until they got help. And nothing bad happened. I mean,
Because Lord of the Flies actually doesn't make any sense. And I'm not saying that a Lord of the Flies situation could not happen, but the escalation curve in Lord of the Flies doesn't make any sense.
yeah, no.
Like it wouldn't have escalated in the way it did. Like the ramp up, it goes normal and then straight skyrockets up to like a 10. But not like it's a slow amp on like if you ever have like a real Lord of the Flies situation. It doesn't start like it doesn't go straight like to like a it's probably not actually a 10, but like the violence in Lord of the Flies just like comes out of nowhere. It doesn't things escalate. They don't just go to death.
Yeah, the plot of Lord of the Flies doesn't make any sense if you've ever interacted with a human being in your life. Anyways, the plot of this fucking movie is
I was not ready for the plot of this anime. Like everything I got exposed to was from like a video from like 2-3 years ago. And like I got synopsises from that. But like holy shit, Derek.
that is incredible. That is
You ready for this final shot of the episode, Derek?
Yeah, real quick before I do that, this is the plot that could only be formulated by a cult which is about to Jonestown themselves. Like,
Surprisingly enough, they haven't. Like they haven't had any suicidal ideation in their cult like tendencies before.
yeah, there's two different kinds of cults in my like from what I've seen. There's the ones that are really insular that eventually end in mass suicide, and there's the ones that like try to make themselves like a mainstream religion, like these guys, Moonies, Scientology, that are less on the suicidal part and are more on like the
Follow my word forever.
it's like a more like I guess there's no other word for it than just like fascist. Like there's fascist cults and there's insular cults, and And so, like, I'm really wondering, that makes me wonder now, like, what kind of political connections does this cult have? Like, do they have any politicians that kind of like publicly support them or anything like that? Like Scientology or the Moonies?
I don't know that they. I don't know. Like I said, it's a niche cult that like you can't get a lot of information on. Like unless you're boots on the ground there in Japan, like they've like said something like you're not gonna get a lot here in the West. Is what I will say. Again, it is an international cult, but like a lot of the actual like influence is there in Japan.
Right, yeah. Anyways, Prost.
Cheers. Yeah, this does get better warm.
Well, that was fucking crazy.
I was not expecting them to be that insane, Derek. Like, genuinely. Any final words about the Happy Science cult?
Well, I'd just be interested in learning more about like.
So if we incorporate the podcast, you think we get a tax write-off of our trip to Japan to investigate Happy Science?
Yeah, I want to learn more about how they work. I want to learn more about like what their like rituals and like recruitment are like. I want to learn more about that.
I think like if we ever are able to like turn this into a business, like and like are making money off of it, we genuinely could get a tax write-off to travel to Japan.
Yeah, probably.
To investigate them, to like okay, what are they actually like? What are like what? How does it actually?
Yeah.
What does it actually mean to be a Happy Science cult member in Japan?
And then we could put on our CVs that we're journalists.
I mean, arguably, we could argue. I feel like you had a better argument than I would, but like you could argue you are closer to a journalist already than I am.
Maybe closer, but I'm still not a journalist.
I've seen some people who put that on their resumes of journalism. Like you have a better claim than some people.
Well, yeah. I'd say I'm more of a journalist or actually no, I am the same level of journalist as the people who claim to be independent journalists on Twitter who just repost actual journalist stuff.
You have more of a claim than Ben Shapiro.
I do have more of a claim to the journalism thing than Ben Shapiro, if for no other reason than what I talk about is true. Anyways,
did you see his take on Superman? Like oh my god,
I did not know. I haven't looked at anything that because Ben Shapiro hasn't been relevant in like 5 years. COVID really like
he had a very I didn't. It killed his like discoverability. I don't think it killed his demographic, but like his growth opportunity, I feel like got stifled. Apparently, like he had some very like I didn't watch it, but like he had some very awful takes on Superman, and
yeah,
when the movie came out, and was like, well, this is not my Superman, and just like had factually incorrect information about Superman. Like he had this very very niche idea of what Superman was, and it wasn't even like the normal like consensus. Like everyone has like a zeitgeist of Superman. Like no. Any final words before we get off of here, Derek, about Happy Science?
No, just ruthless critique of all that.
Don't join cults, kids.
Yeah, ruthless critique of all that exists. Marx was right on that one. If it doesn't stand up to critique, then it's not worth your time. Don't join a cult. If there's a religion,
it doesn't matter if they don't call themselves a cult.
Yeah,
scrutinize all religion.
If there's a religious and political movement that is making claims, research those claims because it's almost guaranteed they're going to be wrong, and you're going to avoid ruining your life over it.
Exactly. Where can they find you, Derek?
They can find me on Blue Sky at Visigoth. The O is a 0. Tim, where can they find the good stuff?
So they can find me at Tim aka Otis on Blue Sky, and they can find the podcast on Facebook and Instagram at the Alexander Society Pod. At Twitter, I'm fuck Twitter.
Fuck Twitter.
They can find the podcast on Blue Sky at Alexander Society Pod, and then they can find us on TikTok, which we haven't touched in like over a year. At Alexander Society. And if they have enjoyed what they've listened to, they can give us a rate and review on their streaming platform of choice, and we will see you next time.
Bye.